Looks like we're recording. I can see a red dot in the top corner. It's still October 11th, 2024, 3:01 p.m. Attorney Crane, your witness is Linda Kern, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kern, if you can please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm on the penalty of perjury that the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can lower your right hand. If you can go ahead and say your name for the record and spell your last name.
Linda Kern, Kern.
All right, and then Attorney Crane is going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
Okay. Ms. Kern, when did you begin your employment at Columbia Savings and Loan?
October 2013.
Okay. And when you started, what was your job title?
Collection officer.
Collection officer. And probably this is a question, the answer follows from your job title, but I'll ask nonetheless. And what were your duties?
We're a small bank, everything, collecting, paying insurance policies, any function that they had, I participated.
Okay. When you refer to collection, who would you be collecting from? Would you be collecting from persons who, for example, took out loans with the bank, or were there other parties you were collecting from?
Well, we only have mortgage loans, so it's mortgages.
Okay. Okay. And when you started, were you full-time or part-time?
Part-time.
Okay. Did you remain part-time throughout the duration of your employment at Columbia Savings and Loan?
No, I started full-time a year and a half ago.
A year and a half
ago. When Mr. Gary retired, I came on full-time in July of, was that 2022?
Okay. How long did you work with Miss McKinney-Rice?
The entire time, 11 years.
Okay, 11 years.
10 years, because she left a year before.
Okay. Now I have to ask the question I was always told as a kid never to ask, but I have to ask your date of birth.
6/6/56.
Okay. Yeah. What was the occasion for which you were given the opportunity to move from part-time to full-time?
When Mr. Gary retired, Ernest asked me to come full-time.
Okay. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Okay. Was Miss McKinney-Rice still an employee when you came on board full-time?
Yes.
Okay. And so you indicated that you worked with Miss McKinney-Rice for 11 years. What kind of fellow employee was Miss McKinney-Rice?
We were like a family because it was just 5 of us, so it was like a family environment.
Mm-hmm. And so you would identify your working relationship with Miss McKinney-Rice as a positive one?
Yes, I would.
Okay. How did Miss McKinney-Rice treat you in your daily interactions?
Like a friend, an employee. We were all, like I said, a big family there.
Mm-hmm. Did Miss McKinney-Rice get along with her coworkers?
I mean, as well as, yeah, all the time. I mean, every time, any environment, you're going to have a disagreement, but it wasn't like it was a hated thing. It was just, and we worked it out. So it wasn't anything that we never worked out. So it was never, no one went home a day not speaking to the other person. That's what you're saying.
Okay. Did you ever observe Ms. McKinney-Rice cursing out a fellow employee?
No, never.
Mhm. Did you ever hear her curse Mr. Gary?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay. Did you perceive Miss Rice as a diligent and hardworking employee?
Yes, I did.
Mhm.
Yes.
What are there examples you could think of to indicate her character as a diligent and hardworking employee?
Um, that everybody there had their own separate duties, but like when she left, we didn't know what she did. Because everybody had their jobs. You knew what you had to do and you just did it. But yeah, she was a very hard worker because we all manual. It was reports that was we not automated like US Bank where I came from. It's all manual there. Very few things are automated.
Mhm. Um, did you have occasion to observe Miss McKinney Rice in her role as supervisor?
Yes.
What kind of supervisor did you perceive her to be with the persons who reported to her?
Um, Fine. She just told you what to do, and we didn't have a lot of training, because everybody had their duties, but she trained her employees and told them what they had to do, and she mostly put everything in writing when she was training.
Okay. When did you end your employment with Columbia Savings and Loan?
March 30th of this year, of
Oh,
2024.
okay. Uh, what were the circumstances of the ending of your employment?
I was harassed by a customer of
Mhm.
something that wasn't my control. And Mr. Jones told me she threatened me, threatened to blow up my home and everything. Mr. Jones told me, get over it, there, let it go. We called the police. He was not happy because in Goji, another employee was threatened by this customer because her credit got messed up. And it was no fault of ours. But um, they told the customer that I handle credit disputes also. But it wasn't a dispute. It was nothing. It was that she paid off her mortgage. And because Ms. Rice was gone, we didn't know, Noelle and I didn't know that it was sitting in a queue. And she got a late payment. She's an investor in Atlanta, and it messed up her credit. So she threatened for the bank and me, but Mr. Jones blocked her and then said don't talk to her. But she was calling me all times of night, saying she was an ex kingpin, she could kill me and all that. And he told me to get over it. So I just took it up on myself to call her and say, what is it that's messing up your credit? Because I went through the dispute, I couldn't see anything on her history on my end. And then when she told me what it was, I went back and found that it was a payment. When her payoff came through, Ms. Rice wasn't there and it sat in the queue and she got a late payment. So that's why I couldn't work for an environment that didn't want to protect me. So I just resigned because I could retire. So I did.
What was your working relationship first with Mr. Gary?
It was excellent. Um, he was always there and always I could go into his office or any employee to discuss if there was something that we disagreed with. But Mr. Jones is never there, so you can't do that.
How would you characterize your working relationship with Mr. Jones, either when he was there or when you interacted with him by phone or email?
At first, it was great, but then after the incident, it went to a total different direction.
Did you perceive that Mr. Jones interacted with you in ways that may have been different from his interaction with other employees?
At first, he did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me ask you to clarify. At first, he did what, Miss Kern?
At first, he did interact with me more because I knew his family.
Okay. Um, did he at any point interact with you disrespectfully?
No, he just told me to get over it. That, I mean, I thought that was disrespectful, that he was that he did it that way and didn't take it serious, that my life was being threatened. Not only did the girl threaten me, she said, I know where your daughter lives at. My niece is a professor at the University of San Francisco. She knew where she lived at. She said, I know your family. I will kill your whole family. That's the threat. And he told me to get over it.
Uh, did Mr. Jones treat you differently than Ngozi during this period of time?
No, he treated us the same. He said, let it go.
Uh-huh. Okay. Um, did you have any other conflicts with Mr. Jones?
No, that was the only one.
Okay. Did you ever hear Mr. Jones make a negative or derogatory comment? I'll just say negative comment about Miss McKinney-Rice.
Mm, indirectly, not to me, but just making a comment.
Would you be able to clarify? I mean, did you hear this comment, in other words?
Um, well, just the day she was leaving, that yeah, that she needed to leave and that she was slow. I guess it was some report or something, but that's what he made the comment about. But I guess she didn't do it in the timely manner he wanted it to be done in. So he called my phone, my desk, and asked me to go back there and tell her to leave.
Okay, so on the day he put her on leave, you're saying he called you and
Yes,
asked you to ask Miss McKinney-Rice to leave.
yes, he did.
Um, and did he say anything else about her at that point? Uh,
Um, not at that point. He just said to leave that day. But prior to that, he was
oh, okay.
saying
Oh, I'm sorry.
she was slow, like I guess doing her work, and she wasn't doing it fast enough the way he wanted it done. But that's just the way he was. He wanted it when he wanted it, no matter what you were doing. In Coral too, it was do it now. And being in a bank, there's procedures we need to have done at a certain time. And by them having no banking experience, they didn't know.
Who did Mr. Jones make his comment to regarding Miss McKinney-Rice being slow?
I think just about everybody heard it.
Okay. Uh, did he make that comment when he was there on the premises in person?
Um, no, it was on the phone.
Oh, okay. Um, and
But I think he talked to everybody about. I mean, he mentioned something. Everybody knew. So he talked to us maybe individual, but that's when he said it to me.
uh, so he did say to you that Miss McKinney-Rice was slow.
Yes.
Okay. Um, do you have any reason to believe Mr. Jones may have been biased against Miss McKinney-Rice because of her age?
Objection foundation.
Okay. Let me try to build that up. Uh, see how I can do that. Did you hear Mr. Jones making any comments that may have had any relationship to Miss McKinney-Rice's age?
No.
Okay. So the one comment, the one negative is slow.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, did Mr. Jones ever characterize you or your work as slow?
No, not until I left, and then I was told by customers and employees. I mean, not employees, but customers that he said I left work undone. My history, I came from U.S. Bank after 35 years. I did not leave things undone.
Um, Did Mr. Jones have favorite employees and disfavored employees?
Objection, speculation, and foundation.
Did you
Um,
observe
okay, go
Mr.
ahead.
Jones treating some employees poorly?
No.
Okay. Did you when you transitioned from part-time to full-time, did a raise accompany that transition?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Once you were full-time, did you ever ask for additional compensation?
Yes, I did. And also, I did get the raise, but as far as because I was drawing my deceased husband Social Security, so he promised me a bonus because you can get bonuses when you're on Social Security, but you can only make a certain amount. He promised me the bonus, but I never got it.
Okay. And when you say he, do you mean Mr. Jones or Mr.
Yes,
Gary?
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones. Okay. Did you observe, I know you said Mr. Jones was not there frequently, but did you observe the way Mrs. McKinney-Rice interacted with Mr. Jones at any point?
No, because that was behind the teller area. I was outside at a desk.
Okay. And I'm trying to recall, I don't think I asked you this question. Did you observe Mrs. McKinney-Rice in her interaction with Columbia's customers?
Yes, all the time because I was back there writing checks
Mhm.
for insurance customers.
Uh, how did Ms. Jones interact with customers?
They loved her and they still ask today, where is she and how is she doing?
Did you ever hear Mrs. McKinney-Rice being argumentative with customers?
No, never.
Okay. Ms. Kern, for now, I don't have any further questions, so I will turn it back to Judge Furman and Attorney Pless.
Okay.
All right. So now Attorney Plez is going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
Ms. Kern.
Ms. Kern, this, it might not, what I'm about to ask might not be all that important, but it's just more for sake of exactness. You told us on your direct testimony that you were hired in Columbia as a part-time worker back in October 2013, correct?
Yes.
And that you transitioned to full-time at the request of Mr. Jones after George Gary retired, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
I was under the understanding that you went from part-time to full-time after Ms. Carol McKinney was placed on administrative leave.
Yes.
Okay. Now, she was placed on administrative leave in December 2022. I'll represent that to you in case if you don't
Okay.
know exactly when that
Yeah. And
happened.
maybe that's when I went full time. But I was working more hours all the time before that. But yeah, that is when Mr. Jones and Noel, I met with him on a Saturday at the bank.
Okay. So you and Ms. Noelle Smith met with Mr. Jones on a Saturday at the bank, and it was at that point that
Yeah.
he brought you on from part-time to full-time employment.
Yes. Yes.
And this was after Carol McKinney-Rice was placed on administrative leave, correct?
Yes.
Was part of the reason for bringing you from part-time to full-time so that you could take on some of the duties that had been formerly conducted by Ms. McKinney-Rice?
Yes. Noel and I took parts of her job. Yes.
Okay, so basically, then duties that were previously handled by Ms. McKinney-Rice, based on what you're telling us, were divided between you and Ms. Noel Smith.
Yes.
So there wasn't a new person brought in to take over the duties of Ms. McKinney-Rice. Those duties were split between the two of you that were already working there.
Yes.
Ms. Kern, you talked about this customer that had an issue with credit reporting. Was the credit reporting part of your responsibility through managing the e-Oscar system?
No, not credit reporting. I did disputes.
Okay. Ms. I won't say the former customer's name, but this customer that we were talking about on direct examination did in fact dispute a report to her credit because of this money that wasn't applied that you talked about earlier, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, her complaint with the bank was that this dispute that she filed was not addressed in a timely manner. Is that correct?
Yes.
You mentioned that this former customer had made some threats against you personally, true?
Yes. Yes.
And did you also say that she threatened your mother?
My daughter and my niece.
Okay. And did she also threaten your granddaughter?
My daughter lives. My granddaughter lives with my daughter. Yes. Not directly. She said your daughter. She did not my granddaughter.
Okay. So this former customer called the bank and she made threatening remarks to you, threatening your mother, your daughter, and your niece. True?
No, me, myself, my daughter, and my niece.
Okay. But she never threatened your mother?
No,
Okay.
she threatened Ngoshi's mother.
She threatened Ngozi's mother.
Yes, that was
Okay.
Ngoshi's mother.
Okay. Um, did you have a personal relationship with this customer, this former customer?
I just knew her as a customer that used to live here and moved to Atlanta. No, I didn't have a personal relationship with her at all.
How is it that she came to know who your daughter was, sufficient to where she could make a threat against her?
She told me that I had lived at my address too long. So she looked up my information through whatever she looked it up. But she's a realtor, of course. She can find everything. Listings.
Okay. Did you give her your address so she could look
No,
it up?
no, no. She looked it up and called me and told me she had it. She told Rachel, when she was threatened, she told Rachel the same thing, that she knew where I lived at.
How does she know who your niece was?
She looked it up. Relatives, you can look that up at CCAPS, anything nowadays. You can trace anything.
Does your niece have the same last name as you?
No. And she's from here. Maybe she knew my niece through school. I'm not sure.
It is the case though that this former customer called and even threatened the bank. It wasn't just your personal relative. She
Exactly.
threatened the bank.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And in your many years of experience in banking, had you ever had a situation where a former irate customer made threats against the banking institution?
No.
Never been through that before.
No.
So, was there times when Mr. Jones had conversations with this former customer to
Yes.
try to kind of quell what was going on?
Yes. And then she kept threatening calling him and calling him. So he blocked her, and he had Noel block her from calling the bank. But I have a landline. I'm at work during the day. I When you block a call, you have to block it, right away. But by me being at work, when I get home, I got a list. I still have the records from how many times she called me, how many different numbers, and that's what she was doing to the bank. She was calling the bank through Google, all different numbers. So you really couldn't stop her until they blocked. However, this Noel blocked her and Mr. Jones blocked her from his phone. But I still have all the records of how many times she called my home and all the emails that she sent me threatening.
So she managed to access your personal home number then as well.
Yes. The
Did you
emails were
ever?
from the bank, but the home number is my personal home number. That's what she found. She didn't have my cell, so that's why she called my home number all through the night, all day, every day.
Did you ever consider taking out a restraining order against her so she could stop calling you and harassing you on a personal level?
Yes, and Goji and I both went to Mr. Jones, and he said, get over it.
Okay, but what my question is, did you ever
And
go down, excuse me, let me finish the question just so you
okay,
have a full question. Um, did you ever go down to the Milwaukee County Courthouse and ask for a restraining order from a judge against this particular person?
no, I did because she lived in Atlanta. I didn't know when she would be here. Only time we knew when she threatened to come into the bank to blow up the bank and everything else. But no, I didn't because that's what the police told me that came to the bank that day said that we would have to know when she's coming. So if I filed a restraining order, what good would it do? She lived in Atlanta. I never knew when she was coming.
Did you ever seek legal advice from an attorney with respect to filing a restraining order against her?
Not legal advice. I went to an attorney about the situation. But no, I didn't file any charges.
So you're aware that this particular customer filed a lawsuit against the bank,
Yes, I was there at the bank when the processor served the bank.
and are you also aware that this particular customer filed the lawsuit personally as well against Mr. Jones?
No, I'm not aware of that. I thought it was against the bank. I didn't read the day it was served at the bank. I just passed it to was that when it came. I'm not sure if it was West or who was there, but I passed it to. I think it was West. I had him go serve it, give it to him. I didn't sign for it.
But this lawsuit that this former customer filed doesn't name you personally in any way. True?
I don't know. I didn't read it.
Well, you haven't been served with any lawsuit that names you personally by this former customer, have you?
No,
And have you heard anything, any threats or anything at all from this customer against you since this lawsuit was filed that you just mentioned?
no. I talked to her. She called me after that. I said, I no longer work there, so I can't help you with anything.
So, isn't it true that Mr. Jones directed you to stop talking to her? That he felt that you were exacerbating things by having so much dialogue with this person?
He told me, don't talk to her. But when I went to him and telling him that she studied threatening me, he's saying, let it go, get over it. It wasn't a concern. It was a concern to me. I couldn't sleep at night. I was afraid to go do anything because this girl said she's a retired kingpin. So what does that say? She told me I could have you killed and nobody would never know what happened. Now, should I be taken as an employee when I work for the bank? I think the bank should have stepped in, but they didn't. Mr. Jones didn't, and no one else did.
Well, well, Mr. Jones is not a law enforcement officer, true?
No, he's not.
You called the
But
police and the
I would
police,
think,
hold
okay,
on. You called the police and the police took whatever steps they took in response to your complaint, true?
yes,
And you mentioned that you did not yourself go and pursue a restraining order against this former customer, correct?
exactly, because she lives out of state.
Okay. So you were working for the bank, and earlier this year, I don't want to get into specifics because I'm not trying to disclose any of your medical information. But you did take a 30-day medical leave from
Yes.
your job at Columbia Savings earlier this year, correct?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Would that have been approximately the first part of February or sometime in February of this year?
Yes. Because
And
this
then,
threat started December when I was on vacation. I came into the bank because they told her that I was the only one could handle this situation. The
okay,
employees
hold on
left.
1 second. Judge, I'm going to ask if you could just direct Ms. Kern to answer the questions that I'm asking her rather than elaborating about things that I have not requested her to respond to.
All right, Ms. Kern, the attorney has stated that, so when she asks a question, there's a specific answer. You don't need to guess what she wants to know or add some other information that you might think is
Sure.
relevant. She asked a question, if you can answer it. And then, of course, Attorney Crane will have an opportunity to ask you additional questions after
Okay.
that. All
Sure.
right.
Thank you. So Ms. Kern, after your 30-day leave, you did return to work at Columbia, true?
True.
And unfortunately, very soon after you returned, you had to be out for a few more days due to other medical concerns. True?
Yeah. True.
Now, we've already established, I think you said it right away in your direct testimony, that Columbia is a small bank. We've talked about it having 5 or 6 employees at any given time. When you were out for more than 30 days, um, you understand that some of the duties that you were responsible for in that 30-day time had to be taken on by other workers in order to ensure that those things were able to get done. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so when you came back from leave, from the 30-day leave, then you went on an additional leave for whatever period of time that was. I think that was a shorter period. Um, but as you came back, you had a conversation with Mr. Jones about returning to employment. And once again, this issue came up where he asked you to agree to be cross-trained in the teller area. Do you recall having a conversation with Mr. Jones to that effect?
Yes.
And when Mr. Jones was requesting that you be cross-trained in the teller area, there was not going to be any decrease in your pay. That was understood, true?
True.
Before I forget to ask, once Mr. Jones brought you from part-time to full-time, what was the difference in the salary that you were earning from your part-time employment to your full-time?
$10.
$10
Mm-hmm.
an hour?
Yes.
So what was your pay when you were part-time, hourly?
18.
So you were increased to $28 an hour?
Yes.
So that was a very significant pay increase. Plus, you were made a full-time employee. True?
True.